Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Cassie Viela and I'm a realtor, property manager, and investor here in the San Antonio, Texas area. On this channel, we talk about all things real estate, from investing and market updates to home maintenance and gardening. So if that's your cup of tea, then please remember to subscribe. So we are doing the second market update for August 2021. So today's August 17th. Before I get started on the market update, I do want to thank my editor. So I have this wonderful editor, his name's Carlos, and he has been just doing a great job with these videos. I do not know anything about that, so I wouldn't have a channel without him. So if you can, then put in the comments like thanks Carlos or thumbs up for him because he's great. Moving on. So starting out, San Antonio COVID update. Unfortunately, we moved up to moderate. Now we're at severe. At least it's at steady severe. So I guess hopefully it's not increasing too much. But with school starting, I think it probably will continue to increase. If you're in San Antonio, if you're anywhere, just be really careful. Please get vaccinated, wear your masks. The hospitals are full. Bad things are happening. Please just do your part. You can see there, we're now on 244 people on ventilators, 370 ICU patients. Like literally a couple months ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, it was 34 ICU patients or something. So it's bad. It's bad. Moving on. Single family home showings per week. We are a little bit below where we were this time last year. I don't know if that's possibly because this is the starter home price range and prices have just taken off so much. I did include a couple of slides down, a comparison of like where the most showings are happening. So we'll look at that together. That could be the case, or we could be slowing down a little bit. Rental showings were way down, which was a big surprise to me, but a lot lower than this time last year, 2020. And then when we get further on in the presentation, just the amount of rentals rented out went down too. So that's kind of an interesting statistic as well. Weekly home sales, exactly where they were last year. I mean, a tiny bit higher this week, but pretty much on track. Median price. So when I was making this chart, the first week of August, I guess, the median price was $325,000. And it was just like, oh my gosh, no way. But then the second week of August, it went back down to $307,000. So I think that was just kind of an outlier, I hope. I know I'm supposed to be excited about high prices, but I'm worried about the stability of the market. So I'm glad that it didn't uptick that much permanently, but we're still at well over $300,000 is the median price point in the San Antonio market. And this does include all homes across the market, all types of homes, single family homes, condos, everything. This is the one I was talking about where I wanted to compare kind of where all the showings were. So I went ahead and opened it up. I put all showings of all types of properties in all areas all over the San Antonio market. So just completely every showing that happened in this MLS in that first week of August. Now that bottom category, 0 to 30,000, the majority of those are going to be rental properties because rental properties are listed, in the like 1,500 to 2,000 range. And then those smaller ones are going to be lots, pieces of land. But you can see that really the bulk of the showings are from 180 to 300. And really specifically 210 to 270s is really the range where we're getting the most amount of showings. And that makes sense. It's where our median price is just above that. So we've got a lot of houses in that price range, a lot of people looking in that range. But you can see as it goes up, of course, as one would expect, the number of showings decreases the higher you go. I should probably look back. Next week, I will add in the showings from the first week of August in 2020 so we can see just kind of how that movement over time happens, because I think that would be interesting. Okay, so we're getting into our Sabre market report. So this information on the circles, like I say every time, can be found by anybody. You don't have to have a real estate license. You can go onto the San Antonio Board of Realtors page and click market statistics, and you can see a very full report on all of this information. So home sales decreased in July by about 10%. And we did see that if you go back to my first August market update a couple of weeks ago, that data did indicate that as well. So we had fewer sales in July, fewer closed sales. Not enough to be super worried about, but if that trend continues into August, then I probably will start to be concerned about that a bit. Single family home prices, of course, a huge increase. Now I did notice that July's median increase compared to June's is a little bit lower. So I don't know if that's an indication that the market is kind of plateauing or slowing down. That's kind of what I anecdotally see just with the listings I have and that my broker has, and then just talking to other realtors and other investors. I get a sense that there might be, I hesitate to even say slow down, because I don't mean that the market's slowing down. I really mean that it's not going crazy anymore. It's not on this like rocket ship increase here. So we'll see what August has in store for us. Days on market are still way down though. Multifamily sales, more sales, but as you can see with the prices, not a huge increase. So like I usually say when we talk about multifamily, this is a hard one to look at the prices with, because the price of a duplex is going to be different than the price of a fourplex. And that doesn't mean that the prices of the individual properties have changed. It might just be that last month we had more larger properties that sold. So don't put a ton of stock in these. I do like to just put them because they're there. Residential rental numbers, like I said earlier, we have a decrease in the number of units rented out. We also saw in August a decrease in showings for units. So that is definitely something to keep an eye on. School starting and COVID's ramped up, so it may just kind of be that people are staying put for a bit. We'll see. But we did have an almost 10% increase in the rental price. So the average rental price of all rentals across the board, so houses, condos, not including apartments though, but houses and condos, the average rental price last month was $1,726, which sounds like a lot for San Antonio, and it is, but that's where we are. I'm sure that inflation is playing a factor in that, just like it is with lumber and food and everything else, gas prices, everything's been affected by inflation, and the market price of a rental has as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully these numbers will kind of stabilize now that summer's over, and we can get an idea of what's going to go on with our market, how we're going to go into the next year. So if you like this video, please again make sure you subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. If you have, if you kind of have that suspicion that I do, that the market's plateauing, or maybe just slightly slowing down a little bit, then please put it in the comments, because I am really interested, because it does seem like the people I'm talking to are kind of just getting that gut feeling that we don't quite have the data for yet. So let me know in the comments what you guys think, and I'll see you next time.